Talk radio continues to be an important source of news and information for many Americans. But talk radio hosts have also been a source of polarization and even misinformation. This year, the University of Wisconsin investigative journalism class asked experts and talk radio hosts themselves this question. Are talk radio hosts journalists?
Well, I don't think people who host talk radio shows are journalists, for the most part. Most of them are, hosts, seeking to entertain and engage their audience, but they're not reporting. They're not doing original reporting of facts.
I don't ever want to say something that's just blatantly wrong, just so that I can make a point. And so I think that is much more in line with what the heart of journalism is. But I would never try to present as that, because I know how hard journalists work. And if anything, especially whether it's my social media work or what I do here, it's repackaging the work, the direct reporting that journalists do in a different format versus I'm not the one out there getting these interviews. I'm not the one putting the actual folks together and fact checking and stuff. I kind of report on what reporters are reporting on. So I would never claim to be putting the grunt work in.
So it's interesting. I consider myself bound by journalistic ethics. I wouldn't go and advocate for a candidate, or a cause outside of this. I don't sign political petitions. I used to be if you gave me your thing on the street saying I'm running for office, I'll sign it. I don't know who you are. Get on the ballot. More power to you. Now I don't do that. Do I consider myself a journalist? I'm not out investigating. I'm not filing FOIA requests and things like that. So I'm not a reporter. My answer is sort of a journalist. I'm bound by journalistic ethics, but I don't do a lot of the stuff that journalists would usually.
Are radio show hosts journalists?
No, I don't think so. Do any of them claim to be?
Well, that's my next
maybe
question.
Dan O'Donnell might, but no. It's a different thing. It's, I don't know how I would have answered that question 10 years ago. I might have said we were opinion journalists, in the same way that we were the radio version of a newspaper columnist or something, because we were expressing opinions. But I don't think by any reasonable definition of the word journalist it would apply.
What I kind of see, what I do is much like an attorney would do. You're arguing for your side. You are prosecuting liberalism. You are prosecuting the Democratic Party. So I'm an opinion journalist, but I sort of see that filtered through the eye of an attorney.
I have a degree in broadcast journalism, but I still don't call myself a journalist, because those are if you just ran through the skill sets required for those jobs. I'm not doing that. I'm curious. I'm naturally curious. I want to know everything about whatever we're talking about.
Yourself a journalist?
I have a journalism background, but my current job is more talk radio host.
How do you balance being a talk radio host and having a journalism background?
I apply the journalistic integrity to the show, but I'm really careful to tell people that this is not a news program, this is an opinion program. But I think unlike some talk shows in the past, some of the present, I don't, or try very hard not to gin people up unintentionally unless it's warranted. So I apply the journalistic ethos to what we do every day.
I would say I'm a political pundit. If I were a journalist, if I were to ever, I do write in a blog, but it's all opinion stuff. So I would say I'm an opinion pundit or whatever. But if I were to write an article as a journalist, it would have to be factually, a factually based focus, as opposed to what I do, which is just my opinion.